Stick around as we recreate this rendering into the real McCoy.
Gonna do a quick video today. And now the master has her mixture and the staining. So you can see all these things here. This is how she comes up with the stains to the customer's liking. So we disassemble all our cabinets so that everything is stained where it needs to be. And she just works her magic. Look at these pretty boards. The grain pop out of there. So what are we using? Let's show you. Rubio Monocoat. We use this in our cargo trailer. We also use it in our tiny home, and we absolutely love it. You know, you like to hear me say love it, but we love it. So stay tuned. We'll show you more.
Okay, today we're gonna do a little bit of staining, and as he showed you before, we use the Rubio Monocoat, but this is just how I apply it. I take basically a ketchup bottle, and I put a little tiny bead right down the bottom, or the middle of it. And as you can tell, I just use this funky little looking scraper thing. Get it on the edges, get it next to the corners. It doesn't have to be perfect because I go back and I apply it with a little scrubby. But this helps get it on there, and it gets it on there pretty fast. Because once you mix up a bottle of this stuff, you can't stop until you're out. So as you can tell, I got plenty on this one. This stuff goes forever and ever and ever and ever. So whatever I have left, just bring it over to the side then, and then I'll show you how I mush that together. Take this little scrubby pad, just kind of push it into the grain. You can see it start to pop. Can you see on this corner where you have the 3 different looks? You got dark, little medium, and then you got some light, which is really cool. This is all hickory, so it stains a little bit different than the alder that we had used in the tiny house. But here again, you just rub it over here. And then after I get it all on there, I let it set for about a minute, and then I wipe it off, and you have a sealer and you have a stain all in one. It's easier if you go with the grain in this particular point. This is just going to be trim pieces that we're going to use around the refrigerator and the microwave that we are going to custom make. But you want everything to match really well. So this is how you make it match. I just use a regular old cloth, and then we just take it, and then you just literally make sure that there's not any excess on here. It takes 7 days for this particular stain and finish to actually cure. So all you're trying to do is get off the excess so that it will help it dry and it'll be nice and smooth when you get done with it. And I just do it quick on the sides because that's a little bit rougher.
So when we get ready,
Voila!
we'll show you the unique way we do to smooth it once it's dry. It's really cool.
Yes. Okay, so we're just gonna give you a quick little demonstration of how we do these great big panels. It's really helpful to have 2 people when you're doing this because these panels absorb it really, really quick. And you wanna make sure that you get it all on here really good and don't leave any weird marks because the stain penetrates really fast. So he comes along behind me and grabs the edges really good for me. Because the edges are the hardest part about this. And he takes the little sponge and he just digs it kind of into the grain, which helps get it in there really good and tight. Smooth out any spots that maybe the squeegee didn't get it in as well. You can see it makes a really pretty board really quick. Like I said in the earlier video, it only takes one coat of this to have your product. So you get stain and you get sealer all in one. This has a bee activator in it that you mix up with the stain color that you want. Okay, honey, I'll let you finish.
This blends where the squeegee sections come together as well, so that you don't have any places that look like you started in stock. Yeah.
Once we get it all on there, then we actually let it set for about a minute or a little bit longer, and then we just wipe it off with the rags that you can kind of see back there on the other side. And when you're wiping it off, you can feel it pull against the rag, and so when the rag doesn't pull anymore, then you know you've gotten the majority of it off. And then we just let it dry. We just did this piece as well. You can see how pretty that is. We just wiped it and did it this morning as well. Just some of our handy stuff.
So to get the rest of the cabinets ready to be stained, he has taken them back into the other shop and he is going to smooth them out. The bottoms of several of these cabinets will actually show. So to get a really good stain and a smooth finish on them that will show, he is going back in and he is sanding the bottoms of these cabinets so they will take stain and there is no splinters. You can see him working really hard to make sure there's no splinters. I appreciate that because I'm the person staining it. Then he kind of moves on. He's going to do the tops now. He just wants to get a really nice smooth edge along each side of those cabinets for staining as well as for the customer. Nobody likes to fill a cabinet that's got splinters all over it. Nobody wants to open it. You can see him doing the outside edge, the inside edges. Even though nobody will ever touch the outside edge, he's a perfectionist, so this is what we get. He's going around on the inside of all of those cabinets as well. Making sure there's no rough spots. It also stains really well. After you've given it a really quick sand, it opens up the pores of the wood and it takes the stain really nicely. Anytime somebody touches a cabinet and then you try to stain it, if there's any oils on it, a lot of times the stain won't take really well in that spot. So here we go. I'm working away on the doors inside. There was a lot of doors. And we stained both sides of all the doors. Then we got a surprise. The owners of the cargo trailer that we are actually working on came to visit to check out the progress. It was nice to see them. They even brought us a little Christmas present. We appreciate that, guys. And then it was back to work. Making sure all the cabinets are stained exactly the same. And now for what you really want, a secret recipe.
So before I get going today, I want to make up a batch of this so you all can see how we actually do this. So I take just a regular ketchup bottle. It's got the ounces on the side of it. And I know what my mixture is. I use syringes. 20 milliliter syringes to be able to mix it properly so I get the right amount in there. 2 ounces of the dark oak. So I get exactly 2 ounces in here. That's my 2 ounces. And this is the mahogany. And it gets 1 ounce of mahogany. And this is the activator. So I like to make sure and get all of it out of there I can possibly get out of there. So when I open it up and it's got the last little bit, you just kind of lay it on its side like this. Use your syringe, then you get every little last bit out of there. And the mixture for this is a 3-to-1 mixture. So I add enough of this to get to my 4 ounces. I go to my new can. I add it in here till I get to my 4 ounce mark. Make sure you put the lid back on this just as soon as you get done, because if you leave it open, your activator will become hard and you won't have enough to do what you want to do. I also always push it back down. It keeps it sealed better as well. And I just put my little lid on here, like so, put my finger over the end, and I just shake it up really good. That's the end of it.
Now that we have product, we are back to staining. We're getting all the fronts done, and we're also doing that bottom side that's going to be exposed in the trailer. Looks good. Wanted to give a final video. All the staining is finally done today. Quite the process. Now we're ready to put it together. Stay tuned. You can see him stacking things up, making room to put the cabinets back together. He has to put all the doors back on. He also put full extension slides on anything that had a drawer so that there was more space available to store things. It's a smaller space. He is also going to cut one of the cabinets down that goes into the bathroom from a 24-inch cabinet to an 18-inch cabinet. So you can see him just working to make sure everything gets put back together so it's ready to be installed. If you're enjoying all of this lovely cabinet work and want to see where it's actually going to go, stay tuned. This all goes into a beautiful cargo conversion for a Jeep. Make sure you subscribe so you'll be the first ones to see how all those beautiful cabinets go into this wonderful looking conversion trailer.